Hey guys, I want to introduce you to Rocket.net. They are a super fast WordPress managed hosting provider who I use for my business and all my clients. In fact, Entrepreneurs Enigma's website runs on Rocket. Rocket is not only one of the fastest hosts out there for WordPress websites, they are extremely reliable, knowledgeable, and there for you when you need them. I've been in the WordPress web design world for more than 15 years. I've used a bunch of hosting providers in the past, but none have nearly been as good as Rocket, nor have they been reliable enough. I wouldn't trust my website to anyone else. We all know stuff happens online. Rocket has always had my back when I get stuck on something, and something happens with an update or something gets hacked. Rocket support is fast, and the reps are beyond fluent in the WordPress CMS, so they can solve the most complex issues quickly and effectively. So go check them out. Give them a shot. Go to gmedia.sh/rocket. That's gmedia.sh/rocket. Use the code ENIGMA. That's the ENIGMA, ENIGMA, at checkout and get 50% off the first 3 months of hosting. That's ENIGMA, ENIGMA, and get 50% off the first 3 months of hosting. Trust me, you'll be glad you moved to Rocket. I sure am.
You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host Seth Goldstein interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm, as always, your host, Seth. Today I have Christian Espinosa. I said that right?
Yes.
Espinosa? Yes, I did it right. Fantastic. It's always tough to get people's last names because they can be tough. But anyhow, Christian is a renowned thought leader and best-selling author of The Smartest Person in the Room, a book that explores the limitations of seeking validation through achievement. Now, Christian is a dynamic entrepreneur, leader, and who likes to inspire, to harness others, to inspire their innate wisdom, overcome perceived barriers, and summon courage to thread new paths. Now, this guy has done a lot. He sold a cybersecurity company, and then he opened up another one because he's crazy that way. But not only that, he's done 24 Ironman triathlons. Let's let that sink in. 24. Or is it more now? Is it still 24?
It's still 24, yeah.
I'm sure it's no.
I've taken a little bit of a break.
I don't blame you. Take a break, please. That kind of thing. 2 7 summits under his belt. And, it's crazy, but it's awesome. And I love to see people really push themselves and have a great time with it. You like to skydive, mountaineer, and obviously, 24. I guess you kind of like triathlons because you've done 24 of them. And your latest book is In Between: Life in the Micro, which is a focused memoir about where he got things right, where he got them wrong, and regarding words are tough today, where he got them wrong and regarding life in the small moments with intention. Let's move on. Let's have you talk because my mouth is not working today. Christian, welcome to the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, Seth.
Great. And we were just talking about time zones before the show. You're in Arizona, which flies by their own time zone. So they're either in Western or Mountain, and I think you said you're in Mountain time zone. How's the weather down there, by the way? I like to always highlight that because
the weather's perfect now. It gets down to mid 50s at night and up to like high 60s, low 70s during the day. It's like the perfect time of year. This is the time of year all the snowbirds come here and all the people from Canada come here. Yeah,
because it's not hot as baloney out there. Because otherwise, in the summer, it's like 115, dry heat. It's crazy,
this past summer it would be like 120 for like 10 days in a row. It's super. When it's anything above like 110, it's pretty hot here.
Well, anything above 85, 90 on the East Coast is too hot because we got humidity.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. So how did this all get started? I mean, how did you get into cybersecurity in the first place? I mean, because I know Blueco is your second endeavor around with it. So.
Yeah, I did cybersecurity in the military. I was in the military, the Air Force.
Thank you for your service. There you go.
Oh, you're welcome. I was in the Air Force for 6 years. I did information assurance or cybersecurity in the Air Force, protecting classified networks. Then I worked for DHS for a while, Homeland Security, making sure certain state departments and government agencies were secure.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, and then I did some testing of aircraft. I used to work on aircraft to make sure commercial aircraft were hack-proof, like you couldn't hack into them.
That's very important. That's very important.
Yeah. So then I just kind of kept evolving. I sold my first cybersecurity business in 2020. Worked for the parent company for about a year and a half. Developed 6 blood clots. Almost died. Was saved by a medical device that could quickly diagnose me, a portable Doppler ultrasound. So after I recovered from those clots, I decided maybe this is the universe telling me to start a new business and focus on medical device cybersecurity.
Oh, can you imagine? Let's pause there for a second. Can you imagine you have like a pacemaker that can be hacked? That is terrifying. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Yeah, it's so terrifying and such a real threat. At least it used to be that Dick Cheney, when he was VP, had the wireless functionality of his defibrillator disabled because there was a legitimate threat where somebody could, from a pretty far distance, wirelessly connect to his defibrillator and shock him to death.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We don't think about these things until they happen, and unfortunately it's too late.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So Blue Go Cyber is, like I said, words are tough for me today. Is a cybersecurity company focusing on medical devices directly, right?
That's correct. I feel like traditional cybersecurity is kind of boring, to be honest. Like, you're protecting credit card information or health information. All that stuff's been stolen before, and it's an inconvenience. But if somebody hacks into an implantable, like a defibrillator or an IVD system, in vitro diagnostic system, and results in a false diagnosis or misdiagnosis, a patient could be killed or severely harmed. So it's the risk is much greater with medical device cybersecurity, and it's more rewarding because I get to help people bring their new innovation to market, which can change humanity for healthcare. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's wild. And so do you do a lot of pen testing? So do you get to go in and try and hack it as well? Like, do you kind of say, like, they give you, here's a defibrillator, don't put it in you, but here, try and break it.
That's what we do. We do ethical hacking and white hat hacking, they call it. We're ethical. So we do that. We do threat modeling. We do pretty much everything required, all the cybersecurity risk management, assessment, and all the testing for a medical device manufacturer to make sure that their device is secure and it can get cleared by the FDA in the US or MDR in Europe.
That is wild. So you're literally going in there and trying to break things and then documenting if you broke it, how you broke it, and how to de-break it, essentially. Like I said, words are tough today. But
we document how we broke it and then how the manufacturer can fix it.
Yeah.
And this is even things like we work for the company that has a laser that helps remove acne. You can find it in a medical spa. And that device was hackable, and we were able to turn off the cooling mechanism and increase the intensity of laser so we could burn someone pretty severely, right? So we had to work with a manufacturer to get rid of that vulnerability because you don't obviously want that to happen if you're in a med spa getting acne treatment.
It's bad enough you have acne, now you have third-degree burns. That's not good. That's kind of counterintuitive. It's not exactly how you want to go.
Right.
Oh, wow. So you're doing good work. That's awesome. I love that. So have you always been? I mean, you worked for the military, so you haven't always been an entrepreneur. But I guess kind of in the military, you were kind of a techie of sorts. What made you want to start your own business in cybersecurity versus I guess you did DHS for a while. But what made you want to do your own cybersecurity company versus just work for someone else?
I had a run-in with a CEO of a company. I was a VP working for that company, the company where I tested aircraft. And it was just constant sort of tension between the CEO and myself. And it became so much that I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to quit without having another job lined up. And I had never done that before. So I just quit one day. And I thought, you know what? This is my opportunity to maybe try solopreneur or freelance work. So I did that for about 6 years, got kind of bored with it. And started my first company, and I had up to 16 people at one point.
Oh wow! So is Blue Goat just you, or is it you and a few people, or?
I've got a team of around 20 right now.
Oh wow! So you kind of went above and beyond what your last company is. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's nice
a little over a year into Blue Goat, I'm already at a higher revenue level than I was after 6 years with my last company. You tend to, at least for me, I paid a lot of the dumb tax, they like to say, in my first company. I'm trying not to pay it again and learn from those mistakes, because I almost did not start a new company, but I thought all the lessons I learned in that first company, I should be able to do this one a lot smarter.
Yeah, I make different mistakes.
Exactly. And then the next one, I'll get better. It's an iterative process.
It's how it is. Absolutely. So in your mind, because I think I know the answer, but let's make it obvious. What is the best thing about being an entrepreneur versus working for the man, for that matter?
I think the best thing for me is having my destiny in my control. It is also a scary thing because there's no one to save you. There's days you can't take off, but I prefer that because I also feel like it forces you to grow. If you can't grow personally, your business will not grow.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that is a quote of the episode right there so far. So what keeps you up at night? Being an entrepreneur in the cybersecurity world, sure a lot of things keep you up at night.
There's probably two main things that keep you up at night. One of them is sales. Without sales, you have no company. So I'm always trying to figure out how to get more inbound leads, how to master partnerships, how to work outbound and get that dialed in. That's something that keeps me up. The other thing that keeps me up is we work with these medical devices that are often life-saving devices, and I want to make sure we are accurate and complete and very thorough with our testing and our analysis, because if one of these devices is hacked and it kills somebody and we've worked on it, that will obviously not look good for me.
Yeah, and it doesn't look good for them either because they're dead. Oy, that's not good at all.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like the risk is a lot greater than just having your credit card data stolen.
Yeah, especially because this credit card data. Everyone's credit card data is already stolen, pretty much. You can kind of, literally, they're like, and I forget something they wrote me, and they're like, "Hey, we'll give you a year and a half or a year, 2 years of credit monitoring." Great, I'll sign up for that. You know how many credit monitoring services I have right now?
25 probably, or 30.
No, but literally, if someone wants to spend money on my credit card company alone will say, "This doesn't look like you. Was this you?" And I'll say no, and then they'll cancel the charge. It's like that's not a big. It's an issue. It's a pain in the ass issue. Mm-hmm. Have your defibrillator be hacked from a mile away and have yourself shocked to death seems like a little bit more pertinent of an issue. I would say.
It's not really inconvenience. It's more of an issue, like you said. Yeah,
it's a big issue. Exactly. So what made you, I gotta ask this, what made you do 24 Ironman triathlons? Just doing one alone, but then 24.
Yeah, I used to work out all the time and lift weights and get on the treadmill. And a friend of mine made a bet, very competitive guy, smack talker. He bet me to a triathlon. Okay. Competition. So I did a triathlon as a short one. I didn't know how to swim. I didn't have a bike. I borrowed a bike and I ended up beating him. But then after he talked so much smack, I was determined to beat him. After that, I thought, man, this is kind of cool. It gives me a purpose for my training. I'm not just going to the gym to lift weights to look good. I've actually got a reason to train. So I started signing up for races. So I would train for that race, and then eventually I'm like, what's the next bigger race? So then there's a half Ironman. Then it's like, okay, what's after that? A full Ironman. Okay, what's after that? Maybe an ultra marathon. So I just kind of kept upping the ante, And then once I got to that certain level of fitness, I'm like, I might as well just try to keep this level of fitness. So I'll put another race on the calendar to force me to stay fit.
I love it. And before you know it, you blink, you've done 24 of these crazy things.
Yeah, there's a couple years I did 3 in a row. I think one year I did 3 of them within a 6-week period.
Your body's not going to like you when you're a senior.
it may like me more. I don't know.
You don't know exactly. My dad just got a new ankle because he was a lacrosse player. He just got a new. I didn't even know you could get a new ankle.
Me neither.
You can get ankle replacement. I'm like,
oh wow.
If anyone's gonna get a joint or a bone replaced, it's my father because he is, mentally sane and sound and all that stuff, but structurally, he's a mess. Anyhow, now what is this? What is it? 7 Summits. What is that? I'm very curious by that.
The 7 Summits is the highest mountain on every continent.
You've done that twice.
I've only done 2. I've done Kilimanjaro, which is in Africa, and
2 of the 7 summits.
Yeah, and Mount Elbrus, which is in Russia. It's the highest peak in Europe.
Oh wow! About Mount Kilimanjaro is gorgeous because you're out and you look out across the savannah and you're really high up. I mean, are you going to do Everest? Do you think?
It's on my list. Yes, Denali is probably the. I'm not really trained as well enough for Denali. I think Denali is more challenging than Everest.
Really?
Yeah, it's more remote. There's no established base camp. You have to cache all your food. The weather's a little more volatile because there's not as many people monitoring it. And
oh, really?
There's not like Everest is a rope. You're kind of on a rope just going up the whole way. Denali, you're not, and you've also got to use skis and pull your food on a sled and cache it and build your camp in Denali. It's a little more involved, I think.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have thought that. Because, Everest, I guess Everest is also kind of in the zeitgeist right now. It's like they found a guy that died there in the 1950s. Like, it's always like Everest. Everest this, Everest that. And it's like, well, Denali seems like to be even more challenging. Wow. So Everest then, so you're going to do Everest then Denali. It's awesome.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah. I'll probably do Aconcagua next, which is in South America.
Ooh, in the Andes. That's
yeah.
I guess it's the only big mountain range in the Andes. Otherwise, it's like swamps and the rainforests and stuff. So there you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So then, what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time? This can be as woo as you want to get.
The most important thing to carry with me on mountaineering, or just in general?
In general.
Probably a knife. In general, yeah.
You never know when that bear's gonna come out and jump at you in Arizona. Not really in Arizona, but
not too many bears here. Coyotes, yeah. I just got my concealed weapon permit, concealed carry, so I carry a gun with me now, just in case.
Just in case, because those coyotes are a little wild. Coyotes and coyotes.
People, you never know about people too. People are crazy.
The coyotes and coyotes aren't like those smugglers called coyotes?
I think they are. Yeah, you got the real coyotes and the smuggler coyotes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they also call the mules. Aren't there the mules too that carry the drugs?
You be careful out there. Exactly. But Christian, this has been so much fun. Where's the best place for the people to find you and hang out with you online?
Yeah, probably LinkedIn is a good place, or my company website, bluegoatcyber.com, or my personal website, christianespinosa.com. My books are also available on Amazon.
Oh, they better be.
Yeah. And Audible if you prefer to listen to books.
Did you read them?
I had Callio Griffith read them. He did Trump's The Art of the Deal. I think he's got a better voice than me, so he read them.
Well, good. Well, hey, know what you're good at and hire for the rest.
Exactly.
All right, Christian, thank you so much for being on, and we'll see everyone next time.
Thanks for having me on, Seth.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.
Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode.